Hey baddies, welcome back to the Baddest You podcast, where every listen takes you to the baddest version of yourself. I am your baddie level up coach, Ambria, and in today's episode, I'm teaching you how to eliminate the need to be chosen. Make sure you guys check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Ambria. Follow me at the Baddest You at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, and let's get into this week's episode. So everybody wants to be chosen, okay? Us being community-oriented individual, we naturally feel the need to be a part of the pack. This makes us feel safe, right? Us fitting in makes us feel that we're gonna get our needs met. A lot of times when we are in social circles, such as peer groups, when we're in school or friend groups, this could even be family dynamics or even relationship dynamics with a potential partner. All of these aspects of life, we wanna find ourselves being chosen because that makes us feel safe. The desire to be chosen is a very natural human emotion, something that helps us to feel safe, helps us to feel comfortable, and helps us to feel like we're fitting in the crowds around us. However, what if I told you that the goal isn't to be chosen, but instead to be the chooser? Okay, when you're finding yourself constantly needing that validation, constantly needing to feel chosen, you're giving up your personal power to the world around you. You're waiting for somebody else to dictate your values, for somebody else to dictate your worth. And this would actually not serve you because you're going to always hit this glass ceiling of what other people think about you, and you'll always be controlled by other people's actions, inactions, presence, or lack of presence. See, when I was younger, I used to be the biggest people pleaser. This was my way of being safe in dynamics with the world around me, with people in my life. As long as everybody else was happy and I was going out of my way to give, I felt that I was safe. And this actually wasn't really serving me. I always felt like I was worrying what everybody else thought. My way of trying to have control in situations was by worrying about other people's perception of me, overthinking about how situations were gonna work, constantly being in my head and worrying constantly about if situations are gonna go my way. My obsession with the outcome, what's gonna happen next, is this person choosing me, was my way of trying to stay safe, but it was very ineffective because at the end of the day, all it did was cause me to stress and it really wasn't serving me. I would give up my power to people, places, situations, and circumstances in hopes to be liked, in hopes to be chosen, and thinking if I was chosen, then I was safe. If I was chosen, then I'm valuable. If I was chosen, then I'm loved. If I was chosen, then things can go my way. But that's not actually the case, right? Because like I said, baddies, the goal is not to be chosen, but to be the chooser. We have to find ourselves, stop looking to be chosen by people, circumstances, and situations, and remember that you are the one to impress. This is your world. We are all just living in it. Take your power back, all right? When we are facing circumstances, people, situations, a lot of times we walk in having these people on pedestals. We're like, oh, I have to prove this to this person, or oh, this person has these things, this person has this aspect, this partner in this situation. We give them so much value in our head, walking in and putting them on a pedestal, hoping to be chosen by them so that we can have some type of value. But what if I told you your interest in them made them valuable to you in the first place? You always held the power in the situation, even if you don't feel like it in the moment. You really have to shape the narrative and the story of how you're perceiving people and situations. It is a privilege and an honor to be in your presence. I used to be the type of person where I would always pursue being in other people's energy. I would always want to be around other people. I didn't like to be my own energy. I always was chasing to try to text people first or hang out with people or just do anything but be in my own energy because I had a very dysregulated nervous system when I was younger, and this actually didn't serve me at all. I even recently looked back at a text and it was like, people are not giving me the energy I deserve, and I'm like texting, and it's like anything to give, anything to be in their energy, and it wasn't serving me. I look like a fool. I look back now, I'm like, why was I even doing that? Why was I giving so much access to myself? I didn't see my value at the time, right? Access to you is a privilege. It's a privilege and honor to be in your presence. When you see yourself as a person that doesn't have any value, you allow anybody to be in your energy, anybody who likes you to date you. You wouldn't even consider your boundaries or standards. You'll feel lucky if someone chooses you. And that's such an unhealthy way to approach your love life or any friendship or whatever relationship. Like, oh, this job chose me. Yes, like I'm gonna have money. It's like, go start your business. Like, because the thing, Baddie, is like, you're so addicted to this idea of being chosen. It's like, what if I told you the thing you're trying to be chosen by isn't even worth your energy in the first place? Like, you're actually better than that. You have way more value than that. And the second we start valuing ourselves, that's when the entire circumstances in our lives completely shift. Like when I started valuing myself in my life completely shifted. Like I used to be in a position where it was like, I tried to be chosen, I tried to be liked, I tried to have other people see my perspective. And the second I just stopped caring and started focusing on my self-concept, the entire dynamic changed, shifted. I became the main character. People were valuing me, right? Because self-concept overrides everything. People perceive you the way you perceive yourself. And so if me being constantly in this energy of needing to be liked, needing to be validated was not serving me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was not serving me. Let me tell you where it came from. When you have like dynamics with a father or mother where you feel like you constantly need to prove yourself to have value, you feel like you're not chosen as a child, you will seek out relationships in your adult or adolescent years. You're looking to be chosen. Like you're replaying the dynamic until you're finally chosen. And the thing is like, you don't look at it as like, oh, my parents lacked emotional intelligence. They were emotionally unavailable. They weren't good parents. Just didn't show up the best way they possibly could. We see it instead as like, well, I'm not deserving of love. I'm not deserving of being chosen. I don't have value. We internalize their actions towards us because as children, we need that validation. We need that comfort, that safe space from our parents. And a lot of us did not get that. A lot of us did not get that, unfortunately. And so we're constantly looking to be chosen by a partner, looking, right? And this meaning like when someone doesn't give you what you want, you don't reward them with the lack of access. You chase them even more. You're trying to be better, trying to be more good, trying to be more valuable in their eyes, trying to prove yourself to them as why you should be chosen. And that's why I always say eliminate the need to be chosen. You will only start shifting the dynamic in your love life and your life as a whole when you stop looking to be chosen by people and you start choosing yourself. That is the way you get everything you want. I used to feel so stuck in this in my own life because I would be in situations with people in love where I would be chasing back in my masculine days, right? I would be chasing, trying to figure out like, why am I not getting this? Why am I not getting that? Because I didn't feel worthy. I always say the first step to getting anything you want, baddies, is feeling worthy of having it. Like I didn't feel worthy. I was hoping someone else would choose me because I didn't feel like I could be chosen, right? I was hoping my friends would choose me because I didn't feel worthy of friends. I thought I was so like insecure when I was younger, like very anxious about the way I was perceiving myself. I constantly needed validation. I constantly like asked my sister like, how do I look? But chase people and like, I just did not see my value. I like walked around essentially like focusing so much on the world around me, having like no substance within myself. And that wasn't serving me until I really started to understand like the goal is not to be chosen. There's nothing wrong with you if you're not chosen. You're not chosen because you're not supposed to be chosen. You're supposed to be the chooser. That's why it's not working. That's why you can't chase. You are the prize. You are the one that's supposed to be attracting. You are the prize. You hold the value here. And I always think like sometimes when things don't go our way, it's because we're not supposed to be like pursuing things in certain ways. You're not supposed to be chasing that person. So it's not going to work out because if it did work out, the entire relationship would be you chasing the person, the whole relationship. But you're worthy of better than that, you know? So it really starts off with having a personal boundary with yourself, baddies. Like, I do not look to be chosen. From here on out, the second you start questioning yourself, you're looking to be chosen. You don't do that anymore. The second you start wondering, like, am I going to get the job? Then what you start to do is doubt yourself and you start looking to be chosen. But that's what I'm trying to tell you guys is like, the goal is not to be chosen. The goal is to choose yourself. You are never going to be in a position where somebody has more value than you and you choose them. You think like someone calls you weird and then like you're like agreeing with them. Well, I guess I am weird. No, if someone calls you weird, you're like, you know what? I don't have time for you. You don't have access to me anymore. You're always supposed to be your biggest hype person. You're always supposed to be on your side. You're always supposed to be choosing yourself regardless, right? And it's just so important, baddies, to acknowledge and recognize your true worth and value no matter the circumstance, and always understand that the goal, like I said, is to value yourself. So start working on your self-concept. You are the one to impress, baddie. You are the one to impress. There is nobody out here who has more value than you. There is nobody out here who you're supposed to look up to and try to prove yourself to. You are the most powerful and most valuable person in your reality. You are the co-creator. You are the one that can have whatever you want. You're not limited and you're not stuck unless you think you are. So just remember, like I said, baddies, like your self-concept overrides everything. If you're seeing yourself in a way where you're lucky if you get someone's attention or you're lucky if someone gives you what you want, it's like, no, they're lucky that you're giving them access to you in the first place. So it's like, shift your perspective. You are the one to impress, baddie, okay? You are the chooser. Take back your power. Repeat after me. I take my power back now from all those who've taken it without my consent, baddies. Like, you're not supposed to be in a position where you're looking to be chosen. You are the chooser. You're asking yourself, does this align with my values and my morals? Does this align with my standards and my boundaries, right? Like I said, standards and boundaries protect you guys from low quality experiences. So if you could say, I have this standard, I have this boundary, it doesn't matter who comes into my life, I'm not going beneath that, right? Choosing yourself, then you will not find yourself experiencing situations where you have to prove yourself or you're hoping you can get what you want. You're instead choosing yourself and valuing yourself instead. And just remember, baddies, like the more you're choosing yourself, valuing yourself, honoring yourself, the more the world and life around you is going to show you being chosen as a result. However you're acting and operating is what you guys will attract right back to you. So if you start choosing yourself, you will see the world around you choose you as a result. Just remember, baddies, like, you were born worthy and nothing can separate you from this value or worth, okay? You were born with unlimited value and you don't have to find yourself stressing or worrying about, well, do I have the right money? Because money doesn't make you more valuable. People choosing you doesn't make you more valuable. You getting love does not make you more valuable. The only thing that makes you valuable is realizing your value and your worth. We were born with infinite value, and the only thing that separates you from that value is your awareness of that value. If you're not aware of who you are, right, choosing yourself, learning who you are outside of other people's perception of yourself, you will always be trying to fill this void with other people's opinions and voices and perspectives of you, which honestly has nothing to do with your true value and worth. So just remember that, like, you are already valuable. You don't have to do anything to be valuable. You being chosen doesn't make you more valuable. People agreeing with who you are does not make you more valuable. People disagreeing, people not liking you, none of that matters. Like, you're valuable regardless. And anybody that doesn't align with that simply shows you they're just out of alignment with who you're meant to be. And you just need to only allow the best people into your life as a result. You have to take the time to truly replace your old beliefs with new ones. The goal is to make you happy. The goal is making sure you're comfortable. The goal is making sure you feel happy and secure and confident and chosen. And anything otherwise, it's not for you to focus on. You're not meant to try to prove yourself because these people make you feel less than, or try to prove yourself because this person makes you feel like there's something wrong with you. Like, are you happy? The goal is making yourself happy, and making yourself happy means you're not allowing these people in your energy. Making yourself happy means you're not allowing yourself to be in a position where you're questioning yourself in the first place, right? With that personal boundary. So your goal is, remember, to make yourself happy. If that means being in your own energy, then be in your own energy. If that means making yourself happy in the meantime, make yourself happy in the meantime, baddies, okay? Remember this affirmation: my own energy is the best, right? And the more that you're finding yourself choosing to be in your own energy, valuing yourself, filling up your own cup and cultivating your own life, the happier you are going to be, right? Like, however things go down with this situation, this person, this outcome, this circumstance, you're going to be good regardless. And just remember, baddies, like, you are most safe in your power. When we give up our power to people, places, situations, usually it's not going to work out in our favor, because you're looking to be validated by somebody who isn't valuing you, or you're looking to give your power up to people and circumstances that don't really have real power. And when you set your boundaries, when you put yourself first, when you say, I am the prize, when you say you don't have access to me unless you treat me right, you are in your power, and you are most safe in your power when you're not allowing these low quality individuals to have access to you. Those situations in the past where you felt not chosen, when you felt like you couldn't have what you want, it was because you weren't standing up for yourself. It was because you weren't being in your power at the time. It was because you were allowing yourself to be a pushover. You were allowing anybody to treat you the way that they wanted to treat you. You weren't standing up for yourself, and you weren't showing up for yourself. And so don't be afraid to show up for yourself now. The reason why you weren't getting what you want prior is because you weren't showing up for yourself. But now you showing up for yourself is going to easily help you to access this new time period in your life where you are being valued, and you are being respected, and you are being seen. Like, people truly will not cross you if you start standing up in your power. So just remember that, like, you are most safe when you are showing up for yourself, standing up for yourself, prioritizing yourself, taking care of yourself, seeing yourself as number one, and treating yourself as the prize, because you absolutely are. Your inner child is trying to keep you safe. That's why your inner child holds on to these beliefs that aren't serving you. That's why your inner child makes you stress out and worry and doubt. Like, the goal is to reparent yourself. Even if you feel the need to chase, remember, like, okay, I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me simply finds me. Even if you feel yourself feeling anxious and stressed and worried about this outcome in life, just remember, baddies, like, your inner child is trying to keep you safe. So when you find your inner child, like, worrying and stressing and holding on to these old perspectives, and you're in this position where you're worrying and stuff, like, you're supposed to remind yourself, hey, inner child, we're good regardless. Like, we are chosen, we are valued, things are going our way, we don't have to worry, we are the prize. Like, you're supposed to tell yourself a new story. I always say, like, imagine your inner child's in the back seat and you're in the driver's seat and you're driving, and your inner child's like, go over the cliff, like, worry about this thing, or like, go drive in the water. And it's like, oh, overthink about the situation. You're not supposed to be like, you're right, let me go do this and drive in the water. You're supposed to be like, nope, inner child, we're safe, we're gonna stay on the road. Nope, inner child, I know we feel this anxiety, but we know we're chosen regardless. Nope, inner child, I know that we feel like we have to worry about this thing, but we are the prize regardless. Like, you're supposed to choose who you are, even in the midst of circumstances. So just remember that, baddies. Like, you have the power to dictate who you are and choose your reality wisely. Whatever is coming up, you have the power to reparent yourself and claim who you are regardless. Okay, so from here on out, you have a new identity. You are the prize. You are the chooser. The goal is to make yourself happy. You are prioritizing yourself. When fears come up, you can reparent yourself or remind yourself of your worth. And you have this inner trust that you have the best life coming towards you. You're not lacking, you're not anxious, you're not worried, you're not stressed. You're not in this position where you're chasing and hoping you're being chosen. Like, you are the prize. And remember, baddies, you don't have to chase. You don't have to chase. You do have that much value. They don't say, I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me simply finds me. Just because, like, you try to feel confident. Like, it's true. Like, in a movie, the person who's like the main love interest, like the popular girl, like, everybody wants her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not in a position to chase. You have to shape your identity, show up a new way, and you will get these outcomes. So you don't have to chase. You don't have to call that person first. You don't have to reach out and try to tell them to apologize and what they did wrong. You don't have to always reach out and see, like, am I gonna get hired? Like, you gotta start trusting in your worth more. You gotta really trust in your value more. Am I gonna get this? Is this application gonna work out in my favor? Like, start walking in like, I have all this value, of course. Like, you're supposed to walk in with this idea of your value, with this idea of who you are, with this idea of the power and the strength and the bad bitch energy that you truly had. You're not supposed to be in a position where you're like hoping someone values you. You walk in already knowing the value you have and what you bring to this world. Honestly, it could just be your existence alone, like your energy, your perspective, how you see life, and even your hard work ethic, your talents, the way you speak, the way you think. Like, every single thing about you is a gift. Everything about you is on purpose. So start valuing yourself. You're a person that has so much value and nobody can take that away from you. Okay, so set your standards and boundaries. Do not settle for anything less. Anything less does not exist. The second you see something outside of you and you're starting to worry, what's gonna happen? Like, your new boundary says, I am the one to choose. Like, you choose your reality wisely. You dictate what's happening next. You don't get anxious. You don't get stressed. Is this gonna work? You decide, like, stop looking to be chosen. Start choosing. Of course I'm valuable. Of course it's working out in my favor. Of course I'm the prize. Of course I'm value. Of course, right? Start getting into that mindset. Like, of course, okay? Choose only what chooses you. If it's not choosing you, it doesn't exist. All right? You're too busy being in first place to notice anything less. The second something isn't choosing you, the second you're anxious, like the second something doesn't choose you, it's automatically second, third, fourth, fifth place. You're too busy being first, right? And it takes a lot to be first place. Okay, so you got things to do. So your goal is to be in first place, focus on yourself, adding to you, loving yourself, seeing yourself as the prize, valuing yourself. You're not looking to be chosen, because anything that's meant to be with you or in alignment with you will naturally be for you, and anything less isn't for you. And that's okay, because there's way better for you. So just remember, you are the prize. You are the prize. You are the prize. You're the prize. Why? Because you said so. Self-concept overrides everything. And the second you see yourself as the prize, the second everybody else will, okay? And I have taken these practices to heart, and I truly see myself as a complete new individual today. I'm no longer in this position where I'm chasing and I'm hoping I can get what I want, and I'm hoping, no. Like, I don't hope, I decide. I'm not wishing, I know. I walk in with this inner knowing of my worth and my value. I know anything that's not meant for me is simply making space for the things that are, and I choose myself regardless of the circumstance, understanding my value and my worth, knowing who I am, and sharing with my baddies in the process. So thank you guys so much for checking out this week's podcast episode. Make sure you guys check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Ambria Heart Tea. Check out the Baddest You on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, and I will see you beautiful and amazing baddies later. Bye, guys. Mwah.